I have a question for you, Eric.
Yeah.
I might be jumping ahead here, but if I was a doctor, I was a dentist, and I was thinking about giving my staff a raise, would I be looking at this statement or would I be looking at one of the others we talked about?
That's a great question, and I love you asking that question because that is common. Sometimes the doc doesn't know whether he or she may be looking at the balance sheet and saying, "Where's my payroll expenses?" And clearly, the answer to your question is this is the right document. You want to be looking at your income statement, and Josh, if you want to go maybe to the upper third of this, when you see total salaries, payroll taxes and benefits, just a little bit further down, just bring me down a couple more lines and you're going to get the grand total of all of those. And you can see through the 9 month period, this particular practice paid out $214,000 of salary related, employee related benefits. And then to your question, do I know if that's a good number or a bad number? And do I have the opportunity to afford a raise without breaking the bank of this particular practice? And this is where you want to move over to the next column with those percentages. And in this particular case, 214,000 represents 24.3% of the collections that have come in. So this is where that common size column is important, and what you don't typically get out of just a dump of financial statements out of QuickBooks. You just don't get that level of detail immediately. Um, but but
So Eric,
now
but in
that
this
we
case,
know,
but in
but now
this
that
case,
we
so we see that 24%, is that a good percentage?
Yeah, and so when we look at that, we say, well, 24% is really an extraordinary percentage on this particular uh,
Line
revenue that's coming in. Generally, from the standards that we look at it for a general dental practice, that number is typically around 30%. And what we've been seeing over the last couple of years, the numbers tending to creep up to 31, 32%, just because the rate of inflation on payroll has been so challenging to docs. And so, whether or not this is fictitious or real, this particular practice is benefiting tremendously from a great revenue stream compared to its employment expenses. And so then in this particular case, Josh, to your question, there is definitely opportunity to provide raises and stay well within the industry standards. Obviously, whatever raise is provided will have an impact on the net income, but this is a particular practice that can afford to easily do so and still stay within the normal trends of a general dental practice.
I see
So,
that in this income statement, it doesn't, in the under salaries, it doesn't have, even though it does say benefits, it doesn't say, it doesn't have, they don't have benefits, but that would also be a component of this grouping that to take into consideration
Yeah,
as an expense for your salary.
this particular client probably doesn't have health insurance coverage for their
Right,
employees, nor does it have a retirement plan.
And that could
correct,
very
right,
well be the reason why these expenses are below the norm. But to both
right.
statements you've made, if this particular practice had those expenses, they would be associated up on this line, Kelly. You're absolutely right. This would be where those benefits would be. All those employee related costs would be under that particular category.